Howdy fellow cats, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be playing Recoil, and right off the bat here, I want to start talking to you guys about some of the updates and other things like that as well. But just letting you guys know now, there was quite a few updates, and what we're going to be doing in this video is we're going to be covering a setup, the M4A1 setup, as well as I'm going to be playing with a viewer loadout. It's not just a setup, it's an entire loadout given to me by one of the members of the Crypt Chat community. And I'll get more into how you guys can submit your own viewer loadout or a viewer setup to me later on in the video. But for now, let's get straight into the updates that have happened over the week that I thought were pretty significant to talk about. The big one being stock attachments. We now have stock attachments that you can put onto your gun. I don't know if I said this in the video or not beforehand. That was in the other video, like my last recoil video. I don't know if I talked about bullet spread, but your guns now have bullet spread based on fire rate. So the faster your gun is, the more spread your gun will have. They also fixed the weapon stats window, so we'll get into customizing here in a little bit. But not only did they fix the stats window, but they also fixed the customization UI. They fixed the up/down flinch issue with higher recoil setup. So if you guys had really high recoil, instead of the gun going up and down, they fixed that issue now, which is huge in my opinion. I hated that. I also have new settings now, which I can show you guys. The developer, CD Development, reached out to me and told me that I can actually have image assets on because it wouldn't affect my performance all that much. It would be very minuscule if it would affect my performance. And then I was also told that I can leave textures on most, and the bushes that I was afraid of and worried about would still be removed from the game. So these are my new official settings I'm going to be keeping around. Also, with the stock attachment update, that means I will unfortunately have to update my setup spreadsheet heavily, but that's a thing that I need to worry about, and you guys will just have to unfortunately wait for. With that also being said, my video setups that I have made on my YouTube channel already, for the videos that had my video setups, I will have to redo and remake them because of this significant update with stocks. But that's okay. It just means that I get to play with the guns I've played with in the past and remake a whole video on that for you guys in the future as well. Also, with these stocks, it makes things a lot more interesting as well, so it should be pretty fun. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the M4A1 setup. I put it into my level 100 grind, even though I'm not planning on getting M4A1 to level 100 at the moment. But we have the PBS4. Oh, by the way, this is also the new UI. Here we actually see the stats when we hover over stuff. It accurately displays exactly the effects that the attachments have on the gun at the bottom right there. So I think that's really nice. Not to mention, we also have this new customization UI for when you're actually customizing your attachments as well as your cosmetics, which we'll get into here in a second. But we have the PBS4, the KS1, drum mag, carbon fiber, and sprint. Now, if you guys are wondering what I wanted to accomplish with this, is I wanted to keep low recoil but also get high mobility, and that is pretty much what I went and tried to accomplish. I also slapped on the drum mag because it does increase accuracy with a decent cost of mobility, but you also have 60 bullets which you can fire out of your magazine, and this helps a lot for getting those multi-kills that you want to, try and get. For cosmetics, this screen looks like this now. When you go into camo, it shows this, and when you hover over stuff, it shows that little tooltip there, as well as you can go into special like this, Season 1 and Season 2. Basically, it's heavily improved, and I like this so much more. Right now, I'm obviously using my camo and my charm with the Prestige 3 sticker since I recently got that. If you guys want to get my camo and charm, you guys can go to Barracks, you guys can go to promo code, you guys can type in Nico, like I did on screen. You press enter, and it will give you my camo and charm. Let me know what you guys think of my camo and charm in the comments below if you guys do have it or end up using it. But anyways, finally, without further ado, we're getting into the gameplay. We're going to play with the M4A1 for a bit, and then we'll go ahead and talk about and play with a viewer loadout. Here is the inspect for that M4A1. Look how beautiful it looks like. Oh my lord. But yeah, I actually believe that this M4A1 setup is really fast. It's really nice as well. I don't know, it's ended up becoming my favorite version of the M4A1 because of its nice accuracy as well as speed altogether. One thing that I feel like the M4A1 struggles with is a little bit of its damage. I feel like its damage isn't as great as some other guns that are also a part of the same class. I meant category, but same thing. Just to show you guys a quick little example of the recoil spread, this is what it looks like from a little bit of a medium range. It's pretty tight, it's pretty accurate. Also, if you guys are wondering why I recommend the most for the texture setting, it's because it turns off bushes for you, and I wanted to turn off my bushes, but I thought that the only way was to turn off image assets, which I actually had that completely incorrect, and image assets just removes the gun images from your game, essentially. And so what I did was I turned image assets back on, to get those images back, because I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I really did miss seeing my guns as well as the gun icons in the kill feed and stuff like that. But I also turned textures back on to make my game a little bit more pretty, but I also kept it on only most, so that way my game stays pretty with the ability of removing bushes altogether. So that is essentially what my settings do. If you wanted to improve your FPS and your performance altogether, I would just recommend turning off all of your textures, so you get none is the setting. But I would definitely keep image assets on unless your PC is really struggling. Then I would recommend turning image assets off as well. Other than that, though, this M4A1 setup is very strong. I really like it personally, like I already said. And yeah, I seriously only think that the only issue with this M4A1 setup might be a slight bit of a damage issue. But then again, you know what? I don't really feel as if this gun struggles that hard with damage, because the M4A1 also has a decent fire rate that really boosts it up and helps it with everything else that it might be slacking in. Plus, this is my first time actually messing around with the stocks on a fully automatic gun. I've only really messed around with it with shotguns because I am on the grind for ultraviolet, and currently I am on shotguns. Unfortunately, though, I don't really have much to update you guys on when it comes to that ultraviolet grind, since I haven't been grinding that hard on Recoil as of late, because I've been focusing on bad business at the moment, because I'm trying to grind back up that game as well. I'm trying to equally balance my grind efforts onto all of the games I play, primarily first-person shooters though, since they require most of my time. If you guys end up trying this M4A1 setup, let me know what you guys think about it, and if you guys have your own M4A1 setup, let me know what it is, so that way I may be able to try it out in the future. I also gotta say this as well, is that if you guys want to see your own loadout or setup in my video, including the M4A1 that you guys want to give me potentially, is you guys got to join the community Discord server for my channel. It's called Crypt Chat, and it's in the description of this video. You guys can join the Discord down there, and we have a text channel dedicated to loadouts and setups that you guys can suggest to me to use in a video. I also let you guys know when I use it by leaving a reaction to your text in that text channel. So if you guys want to submit a loadout or a setup, that's the way to do it. Play a bit longer with the M4A1, and then we're going to go ahead and switch over to the viewer loadout, which I'm actually really excited to play with because it's really interesting. And I did get the chance to play just a tiny little bit with it, and it's really solid looking so far. It seems like it's gonna be lots of fun. I'm also glad that I ended up turning up the textures as well, because I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I really missed how pretty looking the maps were, and now they're even more pretty than they have ever been before, even though it's literally just the same textures that were there before I turned off all my textures. And if that doesn't show you the accuracy of the gun right there, then I don't know what will, because that literally was pretty much across the entire map. I'm also really curious as to what people who primarily snipe on this game feel about the stocks. If you guys are a sniper main, let me know what you guys feel about the stocks, because I haven't tried it personally yet. I'm just assuming that it feels good. That would just be my assumption, I guess. I don't know. I feel like this map is interesting, although it's definitely not my favorite map by any means. I don't really like the whole alleyway issue here where anyone can laser directly across the map like that. I don't know. It's just not my favorite thing. Don't get me wrong. I love maps to be diverse with all sorts of options for you to take in a map that fits like all styles of gameplay and stuff like that. Like, if I want to be aggressive, I want to be aggressive, but I also want other people to play their own play styles as well and have an option or an opportunity to play that way as well if they wanted to. And I feel like this map does a decent job at it, but I don't know, it's not my favorite map. I do like it though. It's all right. There are other maps that were in Recoil that were plenty more worse. So to be fair, this is pretty decent. This is pretty decent. Goodbye. Goodbye. All right, we're gonna call the support helo in as I pick up some ammo real fast because I really need it, and we're gonna try to hopefully maybe drop a nuke. Never mind. Of course, as I say that, I immediately die. The M4A1, though, is definitely one of my favorite assault rifles. And I feel like I say that a lot about a majority of the assault rifles. It's just, assault rifles are my thing, man. I don't know. They always have been. They always will be. I always love myself some good old assault rifles. The M4A1 was the first gun I ever got gold. And let me tell you, I have loved the M4A1 ever since I played with it on Recoil. It's just always felt like a really solid, well-rounded gun altogether, to be honest. Alright, you know what? I feel like it is time for me to switch over to that viewer loadout real fast as well. So here we have the CQMG LMG with the M93R machine pistol with heavyweight, kill advance, 9 lives, sit rep, GL6, support helo, and smoke. This viewer loadout was given to me by the community member known as Orange. Orange said that the idea behind the loadout is uncontrolled blasting of guns. The name I gave the loadout is blind fire. They also give me extra information, which was grenades and perks don't matter, which, I mean, I understand that, but I took their grenades and perks anyways, and the streaks are sit rep, GL6, and support helo. I also got another line of extra information from Orange saying that none of my weapons are to have any attachments, sights, or grips. So I have no attachments, sights, or grips on any of the weapons at all either. So we're gonna go ahead and try this out. I have, again, only played with this loadout just a tiny little bit because I was testing it out to see if it was gonna be fun to use in a video. I also was warming up and messing around with my settings, and unfortunately this was just the only loadout that I was really playing with at the time for whatever reason. But yes, I didn't play with it enough to fully understand and take a full grasp of the entire loadout. So let's go ahead and get into it. It feels like the CQMG is quite a bit slower than the M4A1 that I was playing with just a second ago, but it does hit really hard. Right there, it showed me that it hits pretty decently hard. The iron sights for this are also really nice looking in my opinion, and it feels like this might actually be a really solid gun. It feels fun to use already. I would actually like to use this at another time outside of just a viewer loadout, I feel like. So this is already proving to be a fun loadout, and I can see why there would be an uncontrolled blasting of guns here. We have the M93R as well, which is a burst pistol, so that's interesting. So you have like a burst pistol to fall back onto when you run out of ammo with your LMG. Really interesting. I also haven't played enough with the GL6, so this is going to be real interesting as well to also use a grenade launcher because I haven't really used it that often. Gotta be careful though, I do not have hardened on. I'm used to using hardened a bit too much if I do say so myself. Why? How? There we go. Alright, I have 2 more grenades inside this grenade launcher. Ooh. Oh my lord, I'm actually kind of popping off with this loadout. Even though that was literally just my grenade launcher right there. Alright, so we have sit rep. Thank goodness we have sit rep. Excuse me, how you doing? How did you made me flick targets? Come on, where'd you go? That person really ran away, or that, or they died to my teammate or something. I have no idea what just happened, and I died, of course. But yeah, so far, just playing around with this right now, the CQMG is a really excellent LMG. I'm really digging it. I think it's really solid, and I don't know. I think it's a really interesting setup. It's definitely real different. It's different for sure. And I would say I pretty much I find it enjoyable, to say the least. I don't know if this loadout is primarily used by the viewer who sent me this loadout and requested it, but even if you did or didn't, I feel like the CQMG and the M93R, is just that those 2 guns alone are very solid choices, and that was pretty fun and interesting to play with, to say the least. Really fun. I like that. I like that a lot. Really interesting loadout altogether. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys all enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you guys. If you guys want to see more content like this one, you guys can leave a like or a comment down below. If you guys want to see more content from me in general, you guys can subscribe. And if you guys want to get notified for when I do anything on this channel, you guys can hit the notification bell. Don't forget to join my Roblox group and community Discord server in the description below. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Huge thank you to all the Ascended Nikos, which is Roaring Bear and Mr. Dog. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!